Thursday again, and we all know what that means. It's put your pants on day. So break out your finest pair of listening devices and join Ziona and Slaygon for a bit of chat live here on Slay Radio.
Hello everyone. We really hope that you prepared for our Halloween special.
I did not prepare for that face.
Well, someone needs to play zombie here, don't you think?
Well, yes.
And yes, this is the first time in my life when I'm trying with blue lipstick. I think it worked out.
Yeah, if anything, today is the day to try it.
I think so as well. Ooh. So anyway, yeah, it's a special day in many ways. So we will talk about that later on. But for now, yes, this is the day or the evening of the spooky requests. It's the 28th of October. We will certainly remember this date, I think.
It shall go down in history. Some history book somewhere. Well, it's going to be registered at least in some official documentation. So there we go.
Yep, indeed. And yeah, basically that's the main topic for the evening. And
no, the main topic for the evening is woo.
Yeah. I mean, I refer
because it
to
is scary as well.
Yes. Scary. How scared you are.
I didn't even see your earrings, by the way, until just now.
Well, they are very black and they are hard to see, but
they are very black and they are very cat.
Very cat, yes.
We have some interesting people on Discord. Sharghoul, for instance, and the Duder with pumpkin heads instead of O's. Paranoid Dracula.
I like that. Everyone is prepared for tonight. You see, this is why it took me longer a little bit to start the show as well.
And Ace Boogle. Or Boogle, even.
Ooh, so.
And yeah, Bat Ricardo. Sorry.
Bat Ricardo, yeah.
Who else? That's what I can see at a quick glance. And yes, I actually dressed up and put my most scary t-shirt on.
That's really scary. Like, at least during our show, you really don't want that during our show. Before or after? Well, okay, that's not okay either. I know.
It is not.
I know. So, anyway, let's see what we have. Oh my goodness, so many spooky requests tonight.
As Zidudu says, only Slaygon dares mock the internet gods during a live broadcast. Right.
What's the name of the IRC channel?
I think they have a pretty good sense of humor. It's the internet after all. And DJ Demon, the IRC channel is called Slay Radio and it is on the FNet network.
Yes. The What School channel. Oh, I need to log in again.
Yeah, and Ace Ghoul or Boo Ghoul. You could throw me some ops in there perhaps, because I had a restart on my host twice in the previous 2 weeks. Goddamn rack space.
Yeah.
Unstable hardware.
Nowadays we constantly lose ops there, so
yeah, it's been. Rackspace have had a bit of hardware problems on the host that I was that my virtual machine was on. It should now be sorted, so I do not expect it to go down anytime soon. Before 2 weeks ago, I think it was up for like 2.5 years straight without any problems. So yeah, there we go. Shit happens.
And hi, Matt Ricardo.
Bat Ricardo.
Funny thing that I prepared this song first, like, okay, let's start with this, and then he requested it. So spooky, he's a mind reader, and
that is spooky.
yes, enjoyed the show. On Monday, we were actually renovating the kitchen meanwhile, so that was great. It's always giving so much kind of ammunition for me if I listen. Actually, Slaygon is not like that. He could sit in silence, but if I'm working to music, then I'm twice as effective. So that's really good. Anywho, so he requested a gyroscope Halloween theme by Peter Guntar.
Plink, plink, and I lost my mouse cursor. There it is.
Don't lose your mouse cursor. You will still need it for a while.
Yeah, probably.
Yep, or well, it might be actually. So thank you, Matt, for this little request. That's lovely. And yeah, I wonder if anyone has any special plans for this weekend. How is it going with the Halloween in Sweden? Because we have seen recently a very nice external decoration in front of a house, and it surprised us big time. We will probably post some pictures of that when it will be appropriate. But which one is the exact day?
I think it's the 31st or 30th or something like that.
31st or the 30th. Anyhow, it will be this weekend. And then here the habit is that children ring your doorbell, right? Trick or treat.
That's kind of it's a borrowed American thing. It's not too much trick or treating, although actually last year we did have trick or treaters here. I think you were in Hungary at that point.
Okay.
And they were unhappy with me not opening the door because I was on the toilet. So they had already ran off, and by the time I got to the door, I heard a splash. They had thrown an egg on my window.
Aww. And you didn't spook them after that?
I don't know where to find them.
Too bad.
They were already running off down the street.
Poor little things. Maybe
yeah,
this
poor
year...
little things, because it wasn't a bitch to clean that window up.
Maybe for this year we could prepare with some sort of things, at least.
Yeah, maybe.
And if they don't ring the doorbell, then we will eat them all. It does that sound like a plan? Not being selfish or anything here.
Oh, Doodoo says, do you guys do the convention of turning off your porch lights if you're not participating in handing out candy? I've never even heard of any such thing. I didn't even have the porch lights on.
Tell us more.
And most of the lights in the house itself, like, it was dark everywhere in the house. So, yeah.
But that sounds really interesting. I mean, I love to hear about that because we don't really do that. And I'm not coming from a culture where this is a thing, but it became a thing recently that people start to dress up like this or even wilder. And then, of course, they do Halloween parties and all of that. But the candy part, I don't know. Probably they also start to adopt that. But it's not something that is common. So I love to hear more about that. So how is it with turning off the lights?
The porch lights, yeah.
The porch lights,
As in, you're not participating in the handing out candy thing. They didn't know about it. I didn't know about it. For instance, so I don't think anyone else here cares. It's,
okay.
Yeah, it's just, basically never heard of it.
Okay. Well, I guess we can settle with that.
Yeah, not that I'm the arbiter of what everyone knows in Sweden, obviously, but...
So what's the scariest happening of this day?
Of today, I almost shat my pants when I sent an email. I sent it to a real estate agent and said, okay, so here's some documents and see you at 1 o'clock to sign some papers. That's the scariest thing.
No, the scariest thing is that we signed that.
No, the scariest thing was before we signed. After, just okay.
Just
but before,
okay.
Yeah. It was like before, it's like nervous and all that. But after, it's already done. No need to be nervous anymore.
You can do nothing against it because basically we have a common house.
Yes, we bought a house. It's the current house is 90 plus 50 square meters. The new one is 150 plus 80, I think. And the yard or the garden here in this house is 400 something square meters. In the new one, it's 980. So next summer, garden party.
Ooh. Sleigh gathering.
Yeah.
Yeah? Did you just make a promise for that?
Yeah, kind of depends on the situation with COVID and all of that shit. But it seems like it would be an appropriate time to not a proper big open for everyone gathering, but at least start small with many people show kind of thing. And Ace asks, with a guest room? A couple.
There will be some.
We actually currently in the basement where we will rebuild it into a studio. That is currently its own kind of separate flat with its own entrance and all of that. And Shargul asks, may we ask of a hint about rough location? Yeah, it's about 25 minutes walk from this current house. So not far away.
Well, that doesn't help because he can go to any direction. 25 minutes, I guess.
But it doesn't matter. It's 25 minutes-ish.
But he will know Tollered.
He will know Tollered. Yeah.
So.
It's good enough.
Basically, yes, good enough. So we're in this together now. And yes, it's funny that we have met exactly 5 years ago in real life first.
To the day.
Because that was X 2016, so it's been 5 years now.
Yeah.
Since we
5 long years.
Wow.
Oh wait.
Yes, it's like wow. So it's it's very funny actually.
Yeah, kind of worked out funnily.
Yes, it did. Wasn't planned or anything. So
Oh, and
Breaking news: a sleigh gathering redefined.
well, they actually started as many people shows, so just redefining it back to what they used to be. BreakYourOwnNews.com.
So, what do we have here? We have Shargol requesting Miguel F. Etema.
Etema, I think it is.
Yes, not Eterna. Etema.
Eternal.
Eternal. Etema. So this is Ghosts and Ghosts title screen.
Blink, 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 blink. Thank you, Denmarkian Type Device, for subscribing again.
Oh, so nice of you. Fantastic.
Oh, he had a message attached in there saying, "Hey, you're Max Levine."
Hi, Max Levine. He also had some requests already.
Nice.
Let's see if this will work out. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, yeah, if it will be too loud, just let us know.
Oh, the bed.
Yes, the bed.
Sounds okay to me.
Well, here, of course, because we hear ourselves a bit better, probably, than they do. But anyway.
No, I can hear the level of the music. Because it's coming from here. The monitors. Sounds fine to me.
Yeah, that sounds great. If it sounds fine to you.
Indeedly doodly.
So yeah.
Oh, cool. For some reason, the spot now decided to work above you, which is good.
Like this one?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it didn't last time?
No, not last time.
Ah, okay.
Just
well,
refused to start for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know. I blame the Dutch. The Danish.
don't blame the Danish.
It's an old Slay Radio related joke.
So where is it coming
Taz
from?
Was playing some track, I think it was, and he was going to blame some remixer who was from the Netherlands or from Denmark, but he didn't know which, so he just blamed some random country. I blame the Dutch, the Danish.
Okay.
I can't remember the exact circumstance there, but yeah. Anyway, so how was your week?
My week?
Yes, your week.
Well, exciting, I guess. Like until today, because we.
Then it was no exciting anymore.
No, well, things in Sweden regarding real estates, they are really quick sometimes, and you need to be quick because it's crazy. I think it's so much different than anywhere else, really. And it might be that there are similarities with Germany, or like other places, but I think that the Swedish market is very unique in its own sense. And of course, we didn't know on Monday. We didn't guess what will happen today. So that's how exciting it was. And it got more exciting when we approached to the point where we actually reached the point, okay, everything is cleared out, so now we can actually proceed and it will be us, not others. So, yeah, it's crazy. It's really a regulated market, I would say, compared to everything else that I know.
Yeah, I got so excited. I basically trashed a cluster at work. That was interesting. 5 minutes to 5, I decided to do something I wasn't going to do until tomorrow morning. Good decision? No, not really.
Yeah, and that was after it happened. So you said that after that you were getting calm, but apparently...
Yeah, apparently not.
Apparently not. So yeah. Never initiate big changes. 5 minutes.
Excited, not nervous.
Okay,
different.
Yeah, because now there comes the work with all this, so I guess it's the preparations and of course since we can't own 2 houses, one needs to be sold.
Well, we need to have a spare house. We need to have the studio somewhere.
That would be great, but yeah, well... Yeah, I think our wallet is a bit limited though when it comes to this. Yeah,
tiny bit.
Ever so slightly. So since that won't work, and I heard that according to the Swedish law, actually you cannot even do that. Or well, technically you can to own 2 properties. But,
yes, you can.
But it's like since there is like such an
yeah, there's no law that says you can't have 2 properties.
But you need some approval for that, right? Or something.
I don't think so.
You don't? Because
no, I don't think so.
I heard that it was very regulated, especially when it comes to apartments. When it's like you need permissions of the head of the house as well.
Yeah, that's different. No, there's nobody else living in this house.
Yeah, okay, that's true. But then.
If you have the money, you can buy, I think, as many property as you want.
Okay. So the banks aren't allowed to lend money for both. Okay, that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like...
Because technically you don't need 2 houses to be able to have a roof over your head.
Yeah, that makes sense. What happens when you have like a holiday property that you...
That's different. You cannot live there year round.
So there are requirements for that.
It's a different classification of house.
Wow. So, well, you see, everything is regulated. It's crazy. At the same time, it's really good, but...
It's classified as, I think, a summer house. I think that is the official classification.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Fritidshus, as in...
Fritidshus?
Yeah, as in spare time house.
Okay.
But there are regulations as to how much you're allowed to use. Yeah, as in you cannot live there. You cannot have your address there. So if you don't have your flat or house to live in anymore, you cannot just decide to live there. Just as, the same as if you have an office, you can't just decide to live there, because that is not a house essentially for living.
Okay.
So.
I guess that makes sense, yeah. But still, weird. Anyway, Ziduder had a request. And he added, happy spooktacular to you guys. It's not really a remix. And it's arguably not that exceptional. But it's Halloween fodder in my book. So this would be necromancer.sid. And it's only 1 minute-ish for those that don't like it. I guess for those that like it, it's also 1 minute.
I think it's 1 minute for everyone, maybe.
And thanks for a great show. You guys never disappoint. Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for your great shows as well.
Shall we?
And yes, we shall. Go ahead. Not that loud.
It's coming. Loop anyway.
Well, yeah, it would be nice though, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I kind of faded in and then faded out, so didn't really need a loop.
Oh wow. Shargol just shared a story. There was some issues with people living in one house but buying the next and not be able to sell the first for what they calculated, then going bankrupt, not being able to afford the double house cost. So the banks are now forced to take responsibility that not allowing this to happen. Also, some landlords, community houses don't allow double living without specific reason, also commonly used for black market renting. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay. Zidudra had an explanation there for that SID. I requested someone rip this SID back in the 90s on some Yahoo SID mailing list, and I got a response like, I assume you want this for nostalgic reasons because it's not very good, right? So I feel a bit defensive about it. Well, it is not very good, but yeah, I've heard it before and I kind of enjoy it.
Yeah.
Not because it's very good, it's just, I don't know, it's that, I guess it's that back to the basics kind of thing. You had, I think in the Commodore manual, you had a music routine you can type in BASIC, and you had some data kind of lines in there that essentially were the notes, and it played some crappy Fur-Elise or whatever it was. I can't remember now, but it sounded equally crappy. But it's still kind of a nostalgic feel, or that kind of thing to the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think.
And to the previous topic, DJ Timon added that, and this is part of the reason we got into the interesting situation of 2008.
Yeah, the housing market.
Yep.
And crash and all of that shit. Yeah.
Everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, and there was a lot of overspending on a lot of things in conjunction with that. It was like this weird, everyone just felt super rich for some reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from loans. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, oh, we have a lot of money now because
Right.
we lent it from the bank. Yeah, but you need to pay it back, you know?
Mm-hmm.
What? Nah.
Yeah, that's not how it works. They think, or who knows what they think. But anyway, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, and
it's-
Denmark apparently has the same rule as in Sweden, or laws. Ace says that you can borrow money for housing as long as you can afford it. You will need to be able to put down the down payment yourself. The bank isn't allowed to lend you to that, or to that. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same here.
Yeah, it was very interesting for me that all that happens is an advance, basically, or how you call it in English.
Down
And-
payment.
Yes, and it's not even initiated by us, but the bank. Like,
Zidudu says, if you need to borrow money, you can't afford it. Which, to a certain extent, is a very true statement. Although, I don't know many people that have a couple of million just laying around on the bank account.
yeah, like it's hard to avoid that.
Mhm.
So I guess it's in some cases it's understandable. And then again, if you create profit from that, which is like a bigger profit, then why not? Because, well, by real
Create a
estate,
profit from what?
like let's say that you buy a property for loan, and then of course you start to pay it back, but the property's value raises in 5 or 10 years, and then you create a profit basically, and then it was worth it. So it's like, I guess it has many factors that you need to investigate, and of course it's not really recommended to do that when you are not certain about the outcome. And of course it's never guaranteed, because it's let's say that 80-90% certain you can be about something, but there could be always a crisis coming. So it's like,
Yeah, like
it's
in
not that-
2008.
yeah, it's not that anyone counted on the 2008 crisis either, right?
Yeah, and that was kind of the problem, part of it.
Yeah, so if such situation comes, then one also has to try to make the most of it. So I guess I got lucky, because I got my apartment in Hungary like 2 years later, where the prices were really low. So that's, and then 10 years later they went bonkers completely. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, and I
So,
got
yeah.
this house in 2011, so that's 10 years. In July it was 10 years. So that's kind of nice timing, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So in these cases, sometimes
And
loan
I
can
think,
help.
and I do think that the initial plan was to live in this house for 10 years anyway. So that kind of worked out almost to the month.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
And why just 10 years, by the way?
Well, for various reasons. You get bored after a while and all that.
You get
Uh,
bored
Yeah, well,
with your
there's
house?
yeah, because there's limits, and after a while you start to kind of notice that, oh, it would be so nice if, oh, that could have been, all sorts of small things, and then they keep piling up. And yeah.
I didn't think of that. Like I
Have you
would think of
ever
many
lived
things.
one place in for 10 years?
No,
Yeah.
I mean, except my hometown, of course. But
Did you live in the same house? Yeah.
yeah,
I guess for more
since
than
I
10,
was
yeah.
5 and until I turned 21. Yes,
Hmm.
definitely. So that was the longest. But yeah, I was also
Yeah, but
renting.
it wasn't technically like your house. You just lived in a
No,
room in
no,
that
of
house.
course. And
so-
then I was renting a few apartments in the capital. Yeah, definitely.
So yeah,
So yeah, yeah, right. Crazy. Yeah, interesting things. But I was always interested actually in real estate as it is. So I was playing with the thought for a while that it would be so much fun to be a real estate agent actually, because it's like just to look around, get to know the city and the parts of it, what features they have. What kind of arrangement?
Most of them have streets with street lamps and sidewalks and houses.
That is so boring.
I think,
seriously,
yeah.
like he keeps telling me.
Those are the features.
Yeah, he keeps telling me like, yeah, it's pointless to visit more cities because he has been in many, and there are buildings and there are streets. That's the statement. And
Yeah.
seriously. What a great travel companion, isn't he?
Show me something novel. Not like, yeah, here's a nice house from 1980. Oh yeah, is it? Great. I've never seen one before. But it's not in your hometown. Oh, right. I forgot because it's so different.
Because your sofa is so much better than looking around in unknown towns. I get
I
it.
have a very big window into the outside world from that sofa.
Yeah, and you have a television. Oh my God. It's like I hear my dad. They tend to say that you choose similar people to your dad or mom. Well, in this case, I can't start to think that it might be true. And yeah, my dad is was a fantastic man, and definitely I admire him a lot. So yeah, he was very close. So well, that played out, I guess. Anyway, let's get to the next request, which would be Tenno Recluse's request, and this would be Quadrant 2, The Witch Who Stepped in Dub by Hazel.
Wom, 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 wom.
A hypnotic sound. With a musical beat.
go.
Love that one.
Indeed.
Indeed.
And if we talk about those loans, as for Sweden, and I think Klarna is not only a Swedish concept, it's present in probably several places. I find it also a very interesting concept because it can give you certain advantages to like postpone your payment for like 14 days or 30 days or whatnot. At the same time, it can be as dangerous as taking a credit on your normal debit card. And I think I had once I had a situation when I started to I set it up that it can go to minus, and then it went to minus, and then it went to minus a bit more, and then it always went to minus a bit more and more.
But it's not so good.
Yes, and then I realized that this is not going to be better if I'm just not aiming for getting rid of this, so not going to minus again, and I don't intend to take like a literal credit card either, because it is human nature, it is a dangerous thing, and if you can't maintain it properly, then it's a very bad idea, financially anyway. So... yeah, it's but it's certainly the Klarna concept is certainly interesting, and I guess I don't know what happens when you are delayed with your payment, because I was never.
Then they hunt you down. They're like Liam Neeson. I have a specific or particular set of skills.
But seriously, what do they do when you are?
They send
late?
every agency they can after you, until they ruin you. Put you on the street. Nah, not really that bad, but
okay.
it can be bad. They have delay fees and all of that, and once it gets to the collector agencies, it's really, really, really quick in starting to accumulate extra fees, and the initial fee is like silly amount of money, and then it just adds.
Okay, well, yeah, that's not worth it. It doesn't sound like. So,
as you do to say, it says, wait until they send the IRA after you. Isn't that the Irish the militant organization that suicide bombed Belfast and all sorts of places.
Fantastic. Well, I would prefer my payment in time, thank you. If this is the case, well, not that I planned not to pay in time in any sort of way ever, but yeah, it's really not worth it to forget about it.
Oh yeah, Gostow, Irish Revolutionary Army, yeah. And Batricardo IRS is the American one, yes. The Internal Revenue Services. IRA is much more heavy metal version of that.
And what do we mean by heavy metal?
Yeah, because I did say that the Klarna people will send every organization after you, and he suggested that, yeah, it's somewhere down that line, IRA will be one of those organizations.
Okay.
And last but not least on that list is the Last Ninja.
The Last Ninja is coming after you.
You will not even notice.
Right. So the last entity that they send after you is the Last Ninja. Okay. Probably they would aim for that. At least the retro freaks, right? So that's not a good idea.
Malthus has been planning his father's funeral today.
Oh God.
He passed away. Was it last Thursday, Malthus?
Oh.
So yeah, it's been busy and sad times for Malthus.
So sorry for you.
Yeah, he says, time for a shot of Jäger.
Yeah.
I concur.
Definitely.
Last Wednesday it was, yeah.
Oh God. That's horrible. Yeah.
Very sad to hear.
Indeed. Better carry on with the song, I think. And I think that you lined up the next one, right?
I did indeed. some sound from it would be good as well, I think. Oops.
Yes, this one is Paranoid Droid's request.
Yeah, but this is not it.
This is not it. That certainly wouldn't be that.
This is.
Yes, that would be. So Paranoid Droid wants to hear Linus Kesson, aka LFT, and Lunatico Side 1 Sid. And if it's not too long, maybe also Side 2. Well, we can get back to that later. This is, I think 4.5 minutes is kind of okay. What do you think?
I think so.
Yeah,
Let's
so-
get to it.
Yeah, sure. Looks like it's a Sid evening. We have a couple of Sid requests here. Not only Halloween themed remixes, but they are nice. So.
Yeah, that was a nice mid section there with some pretty ring modulation and such.
Ring modulation.
Yes.
Yep, indeed, it was a very nice Sid.
And Ziduder agrees. That's a really nice Sid, he says.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Agreed.
And also, hello, YouTube people.
Oh, hello,
There's,
YouTube people.
Quirkers, Eric Selites, DJ Damon, The Rising Hope, and Brother Alpa is there.
Brother Alpa.
Yes. The monk. He's a... what's it called? Jeez, had it at the tip of my tongue. Oh, Jesus.
Monk brother,
No.
Holy Spirit.
Like a very, very old-timey medicine man type thing. I can't remember now.
Yep.
And Bamboos is on YouTube as well. Hello, hello. Charmin, yes, Paranoid Dracula and
right.
Bat Ricardo, thank you. Yeah, that's what he is. Self-proclaimed shaman. Or, I don't know, do you get a diploma from somewhere?
I don't know. I knew a shaman guy, and he was drumming very nicely, and he was a nice guy. So yeah.
Yes, Alba is too.
And I know you don't believe in any of these.
Well, I do believe there is like connections between people and nature and all of that. I don't think it's on a kind of a deeper level, as in there's some overlying or underlying thing that pulls strings between those. No, I do not believe that, but I certainly do believe that there is a connection between everything. In essence, going back to the dead and all of that, we do dissolve back into our constituents particles and return to the universe.
That's
So-
a very nice thought. Yeah.
And in 5 billion or 6 billion years time, we'll probably will have actually become part of the sun, the red giant at that point.
Yeah, I just wish it would feel like something, instead of nothing. But yeah, we will learn it in time, I guess.
Or not. Who knows?
Well, we will learn it in time, I guess, unless we will become immortal. So
Malta says, what a Halloweenish topic, talking about death. Yeah, isn't it like appreciation for the dead kind of time in Hungary? What's it called?
Yeah, it's the Day of the Dead, the 1st November. Everyone is going to the cemetery and all of that to visit and maintain the cemetery. Cemetery?
Yes.
I'm so sorry. Cemetery, not cemetery. Isn't it cemetery though?
No, it's cemetery.
Anyway, and I think it's not only in Hungary, because I know that Poland does that too.
Yeah,
and,
Mexico has the Day of the Dead, which is, if you've seen the movie Coco, I think it's called, which is a very, very nice movie.
Yeah.
It's all about the Day of the Dead.
Yeah, indeed.
Bat Ricardo has a very good point. He says, medicine is medicine, regardless of its roots. Agreed. But it is actually not medicine, I may point out, until before it is medicine, it's called alternative medicine, which incidentally he has a t-shirt that says homeopathy, the air guitar of medicine. Because yes, it's called alternative medicine. You know what alternative medicine is when it's been proven to work? It's called medicine.
Yeah, but, well, okay. I understand. However, I think there are more shades of grey to this topic because there are certain things that can have a good impact on your health. Like, let's take those teas, for example, that you drink and it has a good impact. And ancient China, wherever they use them as well. So those things I can imagine. It's just you shouldn't put too much emphasis on those. Like, you shouldn't hope it to cure like serious diseases, because probably that wouldn't happen. You know what I believe in? The power of the brain. And the reason why...
Paranoid Dracula just explained what that is. Placebo is proven to have a big impact. Yes, temporarily.
Yeah, and it's also connected to the power of the brain, because your brain believes
that
it will be...
That is exactly what the placebo effect is.
Yeah, exactly. So it might be harmful to think that that's the holy grail, sure, but to empower your brain with something, even if it seems silly at the first place, but if you believe in it and if you just keep going, then there might be long-term consequences, positive consequences to that, because I think that your brain is still, like, we don't know the full potential of it, and we just know that we don't use most of the potential of it. So it's not like the saying that we only use 10% of our brain. That is simply not true. Yeah, I heard that this is not true. However, I think that there are like possibilities that we still don't entirely understand, don't know. The alpha state where you are way more kind of...
Yeah, I think Ziduder has a very good point that goes with what you're saying here. If the brain has actual power, it's not placebo, is it?
Yeah, no, it's not, obviously. Obviously, but some people just need to hold on to something. And it's not that everyone is mentally the same strong in their all sort of... What is so funny?
Ziduder's last comment regarding using only 10% of the brain. Do you know if they've tested Republicans?
Well.
And Alpa says, I have a long way to go before I get to bearded, happy weirdo living in the woods, but I'm working on it.
Well, good plan, Alpa. Oh, God. And if we are talking about the woods and forest, then we have the next request here lined up. And I0 and HDK also requested this one, so this goes out to both of them. And this would be the C64 Mafia and Forbidden Forest, Don't Go Walking Slow.
I was chilling at the back of my home. I needed to relax and just be alone. Weather was fine and the sky was clear, so I was sitting in the sun just sipping a beer. Opened the paper, a headline read, beware of the spiders or you'll be dead. I didn't take the stuff so seriously, but all was to change quite mysteriously. 'Cause I supposed to know that just down by the road the trees are cursed. And I supposed to know that where all the birches grow, you must expect the worst. I realized it was late when I looked at my clock, so I whistled for my dog to take a walk. Strolling down the road without a care in my mind, when I heard a noise and turned around. There before me, a hideous beast. I was scared, to say the least. I couldn't believe the spider's size, and that was when I realized, don't go walking slow on your own in forbidden forest. No, don't go without your bow in the zone called forbidden forest. every other with Microsoft computers. I was so scared I almost shat my pants, but I realized that I only had one good chance. So I pulled up my bow and started firing arrows at huge bloody beasts that were larger than sparrows, and weird-ass creatures that were jumping around, stumbling as they died with a sound. I wasn't chilling anymore, as you might have guessed, but killing all around like I was possessed. Blood all around from my foe, mafia style, as I hope you know. Just like trauma was singing, I was a shooting and I was a killing. I'm shooting, I'm killing, I'm shooting, I'm killing, I'm shooting, I'm killing, I'm shooting, I'm killing. 'Cause how was I supposed to know that just down by the road the trees are cursed? And how was I supposed to know that where all the birches grow you must expect the worst? Don't go walking slow on your own in forbidden forest. Now, don't go without your bow in the zone called forbidden forest.
Don't go walking slow, especially if you have 8 legs.
Yeah, 8-legged sheep running after you, and then you run into a lot of wires or string rather that is
Yep.
meant to be like a spider web.
All
That
makes
was a
sense.
good find, Ricardo.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Oh well.
And yes, if you want to join us on the discussion, you can do so on Discord. You can find that on slay.radio/discord.
Yep. Feel free to join. The IRC is also wired in, and all channels are wired to each other, right? Except
Twitch and
YouTube.
IRC.
Except the YouTubers don't
Yes,
see the other.
Twitch and IRC
Yeah, exactly.
and Discord are connected. Quercus has a very fun point here. The power of the brain. You should watch some flat Earth videos, or the debunking ones if you want, if you value your sanity.
Yeah, like the power of the brain is so strong that apparently you can believe in flat Earth as well, and you will be completely convinced that it is
Yeah,
flat.
but it won't make the Earth flat.
No, it won't, but your brain is still powerful enough to insist on its own ideas about it, right? So, yes.
Malthus is asking, did Python eat the bridge to YouTube? Yeah, I guess so. It was a big anaconda.
It just always gets lost. YouTube is not meaning to have any bridges to anywhere.
Well, you can actually connect to chat from there as well, but it's a very cumbersome way to get to it through the API. It's not a very straightforward thing to do. Have to kind of do a number of calls with setting up a shit bunch of API keys and all sorts of things to get that going. So we just haven't had time to look into it. GoHanks will most likely have a look at it at some point.
At some point,
yeah.
Well, he has some job to do as well, right? So it's not...
Yeah, exactly. And he actually, incidentally, recently also got a new house. So
yeah.
he's been busy fiddling in there as well.
I think it's the Polish mountains somewhere. He
Don't
mentioned
remember.
that.
Yeah, he did, but I don't remember.
Certainly it's like agglomeration kind of thingy. So it's not like in the middle of the city or something. I think I remember that much. But anyway, yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, he will share the details again.
Yeah, and DJ Damon has apparently worked with the Google APIs and says, it's no fun. No, it's not. There's a reason why, the Twitch chat is very easy to connect to, because the underlying system is just essentially IRC. So, yeah, very easy. So connecting Twitch and IRC to Discord, it's pretty simple.
Yes.
Alpa has he's a funny guy. He says, imagine a guy working with homeopathy, traveling the world, and his name was Bo, with last name Place. Then his passport would read, Place, Bo, as in placebo. Nice one. Yeah, he went places as well. Yeah, Quirkers is groaning over there. Go, oh, I like that kind of joke.
Of course
It's
you do.
It's the dad joke level, and I love them.
Yes, my dad used to do those as well. So, not an accident that I'm telling that you sometimes remind me of him, which is a good
Well,
thing.
I'm a dad. He was a dad. We're like the same. You know, just like a house here and a house in another city. They're houses.
No, my dad used to say to my mom, who wanted to travel more, that why? You can just travel through the whole world with the television. Now we have everything. Now we have all the documentaries you need.
Yeah, speaking of documentaries, we have a subscription to, what's it called? That starts with S? C, Curiosity Stream and Nebula. So
we don't need to go to the Nebula because...
We have a lot of documentaries to catch up on.
Oh, that's great.
So documentary Sundays.
You intend to travel around the world through documentaries as well, right? Yeah. Is that so?
Oh, and Malta says, fuck it, homeopathic medicine is so big in Germany. Even our public insurance pays for that shit. Really? Oh my god. It is incredible how much, how you can make money selling milk sugar. Yeah, or, yeah, essentially it's just water. It's just like bottled water.
I mean, I think there are a lot of type of products there within that range, though.
No, homeopathy is essentially... it's nothing except the liquid that you say is like, for instance, if you want headache pills or whatever, it's essentially just water. If you take an aspirin, throw it in a Olympic-sized swimming pool and stir it, and then you take a teaspoon of that and throw it in another Olympic-sized swimming pool and stir that, and then you bottle that. That's homeopathic medicine, in quote, medicine.
Wow.
And it is expensive. And the more times you do that process, the more expensive it gets. Really, that is homeopathic medicines. Yeah, James Randi always did that. Took an overdose of homeopathic sleeping pills right at the start of his... he did... these lectures and public speeches and TED Talks and whatnot. So he cracked open one of those and took all of them. It's essentially just cardboard smell. It tastes like cardboard.
Well, fantastic. And what would James Randi's opinion be about those teas, basically? Like all the medical teas that you can get.
Yeah,
like,
well, those are fine. The herbal teas, you mean? Those
yeah,
are,
those.
Yeah, some of them do have an effect on your body.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
If it's measurable, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, they tend to say that they have an effect, and yes, it's like... and yeah, I think this is not only a tendency in Germany, Malthus.
No.
So
Homeopathy is very, very big. But Malthus says that molecules in the medicine shall have a special spin by homeopathic belief. I believe it is that ill cures ill, as in if you have been bitten by a snake, you take to cure that venom in you. Essentially, what you do is take that venom from a snake, and then you dilute it like 10,000 times. And then you ingest that, and that is supposedly going to cure you. Some sort of memory or whatever of the original poison or whatever the fuck it is. It's just pure bullshit.
Yeah, not easy topic, but anyway. We just played the Sid, right? No, we did we?
We played one song after that, didn't we? Or did we not?
Hang on a minute. Oh yeah, the Forbidden Forest. So right now
now we do have a Sid.
lined up for Max Levine.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Indeed.
So this one is Tonka and Unstarted Synth.sid, and he also did a remix out of this, you said.
I think he did a remix of it himself, yes.
Okay. Well,
Well,
if it ends, then it ends, I guess.
yeah, that. I
Not much
guess
more
that was
to
it then.
add. So yeah, it's not that it works like it will just fade itself out.
Yeah, and Bat Ricardo says, but it's fighting fire with fire. Now I'm just more on fire. Yeah, it's fighting fire with fire, except that you take that fire, you put that in the swimming pool, then you stir it, then you take a teaspoon of that, put in a new pool, stir that, and then use that to fight the fire, because that's the cure. In that case, it actually does work. Or replace whatever you want as the active substance there.
Yep,
Gasoline.
I get it. But well, it's... Oh, now I finally found the proper structure of the URL, so I can check it out. How is it going with the requests that are posted, like they come through without any trailing slashes and the URL itself? We got
that
one.
is a good question. I don't know. Is that made on... Is that the Tao one you're thinking of?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know where he made that. If that was on Twitch or Discord or on our web page. I don't think it was on the web page, because I do think that actually doesn't strip the slashes.
Huh.
Hmm.
And how does Game of Thrones 8-bit version
Discord.
8-bit version qualify to our guidelines?
Sorry, how does what?
How does Game of Thrones 8-bit version
Oh,
qualifies
yeah,
to our
that might be
guidelines?
a tricky one.
Yep. I mean, if the melody is kind of recognizable. But, well, once or twice we played famous melodies with SIDs. We did that, right? Because during some shows we did that. It's just on the edge. somehow.
It is. It's a bit iffy. It's like when we had the which compo was that? The Aracon, where someone had remixed
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters
Yes.
because it was a SID. Someone took the original song, made a SID out of it, and then he remixed the SID. It's kind of one of those things. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean the original of it obviously was a popular song. Well, yeah, it's. I'm not sure though. If you want to request anything else, then we definitely can play that if it qualifies. So these things are just sometimes we can't really make up our mind about them, and sometimes there are platforms that are kind of very sensitive even to melodies there that they recognize. So uses melody of blah blah blah, and they can even silence you if they think.
Yeah,
So it's not really
exactly.
good.
Yeah. Oh, DJ Demon says back to the homeopathy thing that there was a good reason for homeopathy back in the day. It was when regular medicine was unstable due to the problem of getting the proper dosage. The medicine did work, but the side effects were horrible. Early homeopath noted that diluting the medicine kept much of the effect, but cut the ill effects. But I'm not sure that is actually how it came to be. I can't remember the story of the how it came to be, but essentially it was back in the day before any sort of medicines were. It was the time of bloodletting and whatnot. It was essentially the taking whatever ails you to dilute that, and that was supposed to fix it somehow. That the ailment itself was the fix, except you needed to dilute it or something of the sort. I can't remember now.
Lala is asking, no remix of a Sid cover allowed on Slay Radio? That will eliminate at least half of Hubbard's Sids.
I know.
No.
Like Street Hawk and Delta, and yeah, there's a bunch of them, but kind of to try to avoid the obvious ones that are in fresh memory at least. What Hubbard did, I guess, he took something that was from the 60s or 70s and then did kind of his own version of it. It wasn't a cover of the original, like a one-to-one cover. Well, in some cases or a couple of cases it actually was, but yeah, it's a bit different than doing the kind of Ghostbusters thing or Game of Thrones thing, because those are really fresh in memory and very fresh in the YouTube algorithms and whatnot that identify all of these things.
Yeah. Yep. I'm afraid so. Malthus is ironically asking, why is it that Boss Radio, which I, of course, never listen to since I'm part of Slay Radio as official beer deliverer, can play copyrighted music? Or does Boss just not care?
Ah, he plays a license. That's how.
Well, he pays for that, so it's not really for free. That you
Exactly.
can just play some songs like if you think so, because that's not how it works. And even then, if you do streams on these platforms, sometimes they can still silence you if they want to. So yeah, it's not really fun in that sense, because it's like there are also regulations about how you kind of keep the recordings. So it's not that you qualify to keep the recordings when these happen, because that's, I think that qualifies of a different type of usage of the songs, like during a podcast or something. And yeah, it's a really tricky one though. So if one wants to do this like completely on a legal way, then there are a lot of tricky parts there.
Yeah, and DJ Demon says the same. I fight with this every bloody week. I use YouTube as a clearinghouse and trying to find copyrighted music and removing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting when we started doing YouTube to figure out what actually got tagged and or flagged rather than tagged, and what was not. It's been interesting. So there were a lot of falsely flagged things in the beginning. I disputed like all of them. So nowadays they are much better actually at identifying the proper ones that are what they claim they are, essentially, except for a few fringe ones like this weird like Japanese workout video that looks like it's been recorded to VHS and then played back and recorded off the screen and runs some sort of SID. And the SID, we played that SID, which was like a Hubbard SID or whatever, and got tagged as in copyright claim from this video. That was the weirdest one yet, I think.
Yeah, and DJ Demon asks, does Slay Radio pay royalties? Well, we don't, that's the thing, so we cannot use those songs that are meant for those, and we know that very well, and we play an underground community's tracks that were created purely by passion. So everyone does these things because they love to do them or they love to listen to them. And basically this is what we built for, because both demo scene and remix scene and I think the creators of the SID community, everything related to that was born purely out of passion. So
yeah, so essentially everything that is uploaded to RKO, they are essentially free to use, and of course on the if you read the text on the RKO, as in the how you can use this music, it says please ask the remixers if you want to use them in like YouTube videos and whatnot. That is different from what we are doing, because it's not using one song to promote something. Like I got an email that hi, can I use one of your remixes on a bicycling movie that I'm doing? So, yeah, sure, go ahead, whatever floats your boats, pretty much. So it's kind of on that level that it's not it's essentially it is all in one sense or another copyrighted material in the mechanical, I think it's called the mechanical copyright, as in you as the remixer own the rights for that remix. However, you owe to the original creator of the SID some royalties for using their melody, for instance. So there's layers to this. If you want to know exactly how all of that works, ask Chris Abbott. He's the specialist here. He's the go-to guy for all of that sort of thing.
yeah, so it's always a good idea to ask when you can use, or if you can use those tracks anyway. So
Yes.
that never hurts, and most likely you will get a yes, but it
Yeah,
never
and
hurts to ask.
Yeah, and for Slay Radio, we do have a blanket okay from Chris Abbott to play anything from the C64 audio catalog, and I believe we have at this point talked to pretty much every single remixer on RKO. So yeah, except for the new ones, obviously.
Yeah, so, and if we talk so much, maybe it's time for a track as well, just in case, right?
Is it?
Yeah, I think so. Because we talk over 10 minutes right now, so every now and then it's great to play music as well.
It is indeed.
Rickard says, hello, my contribution to today's theme would be Traxxer and Shadow of the Beast hymn intro mix. Thanks in advance.
Plinky plink, plinky plink. Oh, it's ended now.
It did.
Oh,
Oh.
oh,
Oh.
oh.
So you can't continue your singing.
My plinky plink, plinky plinky plink.
But it's been a while since you created any singing projects.
It's been yes.
And he can actually sing. I know it's hard to believe when you hear him plinky plinky after
What's
the
wrong
songs.
with my plinky plink?
It's all right.
Plinky plinky plink. He's perfect.
It is perfect.
Did I actually do anything after Zeitgeist? I don't think so. Nothing serious, at least.
So maybe at some point.
Yeah. Well, then I guess I have 5 years to work to make it a nice 20-year anniversary.
5 years? You want to
20.
wait? Yeah,
5
but-
years left for a 20-year anniversary.
So you want to wait 5 years for
No,
your next project?
work on it for 5 years
Uh-huh.
and release it as a 20-year anniversary for the starting point of when we started working on the Zeitgeist stuff.
I guess you are not in a hurry, but that wasn't your only singing project. So
No, but I think that was the last serious one. I can't remember
Was
when.
it?
I can't remember when Remix 64 Volume 3 came out. Maybe it was right around that time as well. Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway. Anyway. Yeah. Nice tracks and lineup today. We are doing very, very well.
Very well.
Very
well.
And yeah, since we talked a lot, maybe I can carry on with the next track as well, because now we have an Amiga module lined up. So, Denise wants to hear XDD and the Reassurance Amiga module. I really love the charming samples in this one. Made in 1994 and still sounds fresh. Let's have a listen. Wow. That's something for an Amiga module. Thank you, Denise, for requesting this. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's no guitar slinger, but it's really nice.
Well, close to it though, I should say.
No.
Ah,
No.
Hang on a minute. My
No. Oh, no.
my computer restarted because of a problem. All of a sudden, it just started to restart.
It started to restart.
Yes, and
That's a great description. Hello, support! My computer started to restart!
then I'm saying started because it still hasn't completed the restart process yet. And I think...
Oh, speaking of which, by the way, one of my favorite three picture strips is a guy calling to support. He's sitting at his desk, and you see the room from the side, and it says, "Hi, there's a problem with my computer. Could you help me?" And the next slide, what are they called? Image. The support asks, "Have you backed up?" And the last one is him calling the support. He backs up against the wall and screaming, "Why? Is it gonna blow?" That is my favorite comic strip ever, I think.
Is it XKCD?
Yeah, maybe it is. I don't remember now.
Oh God, that's a good one.
But it's great.
Yeah, but that's something that I like about Mac, that it restarts all the programs as well that I used. So it's not that it's just, it's like, hi, you continue almost where you left off. Restore pages, restore everything, sure.
Yeah, Windows can do that too.
Oh.
And actually, I think...
VoiceOver off, because VoiceOver somehow always switches on after a restart, and I still don't know why. I did not activate it ever, so it's ghostly. It's Halloweeny ghostly. We don't know why that happens. Well, Discord did not restart. I need to restart it on my own. Oh, and apparently...
Oh, Lala has a good point there. Do note that Guitar Slinger is mostly sampled stuff. Well, aren't all Amiga mods? The original is Racer Bought by Delillos. Ah, okay. I actually... that actually triggers a bit of a memory that... he had actually sampled from something else. Because I was under the impression that Yuger himself played the guitar for that one.
Oh, okay. So it's not true.
Max Levine asks, is it true that Linux lets you use your computer while it installs updates? Yes.
That's pretty cool, though. I did not know that either.
But doesn't the Mac do that?
No.
No. I never thought about it.
No, me neither, because I never knew that it's possible.
For me, I daily run Linux, and so my workstation upstairs, which is where I spend like 99% of the time, is a Linux Mint. I just start the update and switch to different virtual desktop and continue working. And whatever. Yeah, apparently DJ Damon, Mac doesn't.
No.
Because he says Windows does as well. Yeah, it does nowadays with Windows 10 at least.
Well,
Windows 7 was a bit of a bitch, and the older ones before that. But
then again, it's been a while since I did updates. So maybe I should recheck. Because it's always telling me like, try tonight, remind me tomorrow, and I always press remind me tomorrow, and
same here.
I don't know since when I'm pressing remind me tomorrow, so it most likely should have happened already, but well, you know how it is.
Max Levine says, well, my Windows 8 says stop, don't use me. I mean, yeah, you're on Windows 8, come on, man. What are you expecting? That's like the Windows Vista of operating systems.
Well, do you want to say that Windows 10 is better?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Windows 10 is like the Windows 7 to Windows Vista.
Well, okay. I did not
And
use
Windows
it
Vista
ever.
is like Windows ME. That is very correct, though. And Lala has a very, very good point. His C64 doesn't need any updates. You just switch it on and it reboots quick like a mofo.
Yep. True.
So, done. Excellent.
Oh, Martus says my father still used Vista.
Oh.
Well, mine was digging into the updates all the time. Like, he kept his computer always like up to date. He was so into that, and he was actually posting on Facebook, and many hundreds of people sent him friend requests because he was like this partially public figure. And then he announced his latest, discoveries about how an old tablet can be upgraded because he found some ways to do that, and he was really into that. So yeah, yeah, it's fun. And sometimes I told him that there's no point because you can actually buy a new one like for not really much more. It's like.
That's not very environmentally friendly.
Yeah, I know. And since then, well, he didn't really need the CPU power that much, and the RAM, he was playing with a few games, and he was browsing, and he did his things through the browser mostly, so obviously that didn't need that much power. But then again, anyway.
Yeah. No keyboard connected. Please press F1 to continue. Microsoft's finest hour, says Alpa on YouTube.
And how about playing a nice track for two people even, not only one? Lala requested
La 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 la.
La 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 la.
La la
So-
la 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 la. I missed a few notes in there.
So he requested Ghosts and Thrillers by Mackay, and Matt Ricardo also requested this very same song, so it goes to both of them.
An interesting point here with regard to the copyright claims. We did not get a copyright claim for this one. when we played it last
Interestingly
time.
enough.
Yeah. So let's see if that has been updated.
It's close to midnight, and Astaroth is lurking in the dark. Under the moonlight, bats and ogres wants to tear you apart. On computer screens, goblins try to catch you before you make it. If you even sneeze, something's gonna hit you between the eyes. 'Cause ghosts and goblins in the night are trying to stop you from reaching the top. Ghosts and goblins is tricky stuff. You see the scroll freeze and realize there is nowhere left to run. You feel the cold hand and wonder if this level will ever be done. Wide open eyes, yet you just never seem to catch them all. And all the while, there is creatures creeping up from behind. 'Cause ghosts and goblins in the night are trying to stop you from reaching the top. Ghosts and goblins is tricky stuff.
Yep. Nice. So yeah, this track was expected to be heard tonight.
Definitely.
I think so. That was definitely a default step here.
And Lala says, best mashup of Ghosts and Goblins and Thriller ever. Also the only one.
The only one, yeah. And certainly the best.
Yeah, it's like, we have the best atmosphere in the solar system on planet Earth. Also the only one. Well, that is not true anymore. There seems to be some sort of atmosphere even on Pluto. So, yeah.
Yeah, although it might be a little cold there.
Yeah, but it's still an atmosphere.
Well, okay. We still have the best, though.
We do, yes, but it's not the only one.
No. Best for human conditions. I
Jupiter and Venus have atmosphere. Yeah, Venus definitely. Jupiter, I'm not sure a gas planet can have an atmosphere because technically atmosphere is already gas. So is the whole planet atmosphere? I don't know.
And
Pluto, atmosphere okay, the food so-so, says TJ Demon.
I was actually always wondering, like, if you stand on a gas planet, you don't
can't.
fall. Yeah, exactly. You can't stand and you won't fall. You will just hover anyway because it's
No.
space. No.
No, you will fall because it has a lot of gravity. And Malthus says, Pluto is
Gas.
not a legit planet. No, but I did say solar system. I did not say any planet in the solar system.
Excuse me. So, no, it has such a gravity that it will pull me into the
Oh,
middle of the
Jupiter-
gas cloud?
Yes, Jupiter has the biggest gravity in the solar system apart from the sun.
Well, okay, but that's the biggest planet, technically, as well.
Yes, it is the biggest planet in our solar
And then
system.
it
Yes.
pulls me into the middle of the gas
Yes.
cloud. Wow. That must be interesting there. And then you just can't move from there once you are in the middle of it. No, you get stuck
no,
there.
you will probably die, so no, you will not move. And Lala is replying to Malthus saying that Pluto is not a legit planet. He says, it is a planet, just a dwarf one. Is it really called a dwarf planet nowadays? Isn't those, aren't those called Plutoids or something nowadays? I don't know. Or are they actually called dwarf planets? I can't remember now. There's been a few back and forths since Pluto lost its planet status.
Lost its planet status like
Yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson and company kind of thought that, yeah, well, that's not a planet. It needs to clear its orbit. Okay, then, and it needs to have some sort of, I don't know, certain amount of mass to actually make it into a spheroid, and it needs to clear its orbit, and then there was something else which kind of demoted it from a planet.
And just to go away a little bit from the planets and get back to planet Earth, MRC posted that if you want a real C64 only demo scene party again, come to Exact 2022 in January 2022. And there is the CSDB link, so click on that if you want to join that party live. It's going to happen in northwest Germany, so
Yeah,
you will find all the details on the CSDB link.
csdb.dk/event/?ID equals 3122 if you want to go there.
You
and
are
you're
so
not
helpful.
watching the Discord chat.
Aha, okay, so this is still for the listeners only. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure
and
they will
YouTube,
remember all the
and
characters that you just said.
And YouTube.
And
they can
YouTube.
rewind.
Right.
Pause
okay.
and rewind.
Right. But YouTube doesn't get our chat messages. They can rewind later on, but
No, they can actually rewind right now on YouTube. Because
okay.
the DVR function is enabled.
Well, I can totally see how much of an enjoyment is to type a link after.
I know. I wanted to actually open that link on this machine, but I have loaded another thing here that we will, I think, play next.
Oh yes, definitely. And you need to introduce this request because it comes from YouTube. It's an exception.
Is it an exception?
Yes, because it wasn't added to the request list.
Ah, yes, it is an exception in that he asked me in the YouTube chat and I granted the request. Is not good. Go to the homepage if you want to request. You can go to slay.radio/request.
Better don't overdo this because...
Hello.
Yeah.
slay.radio/request. Thank you.
Yep. So, this one goes for Alpa, right?
Indeed. Alpa. Why? What? Hello.
Did you start to play it? Yester and Molecules Revenge, exactly at the right time.
Yeah, I have two setups with the ATEM, and one of them I use for other purposes, like the intro, for instance, and then we do not want to have that title at the bottom. And I usually switch it off at the start of the show. And this one in particular, we haven't used yet. The other one is the cropped version, so I can remove the scroll bars that are just ugly in DeepSid.
It's okay.
No, it's
Yeah, it's absolutely fine.
it's fun.
Yep.
Fun to know things.
And it was a fun song as well. Thank you
Yeah.
for requesting that, Alpa.
Malta says, Slaygon, look what you have done. Now the community is split about the Pluto question. Well done.
That's how you split the
sorry.
communities. Yeah.
Oh, Lala says, no, I sent a link to to Britannica.com, and Lala says, not a reliable source of info. Where's my Encyclopedia Americana? Oh, you mean Fox News?
I wondered where they would stand with the Plutoid question.
Yeah, Pluto is not a planet. It's a dog, says Shargul.
Yep. That's a good end point of the discussion, I think.
I think that put the period in that whole
Yep,
discussion. It's
definitely.
done now. You won the discussion, Shargul.
No more arguments on that one.
Paranoid Dracula says, if you would go to space and die there and start orbiting the sun, would you get a planet status? No. And would you decompose? No.
That's the thing. Like, well, you wouldn't get a planet status all of a sudden, but if you start to attract other shit to you, and then you are building a planet, and you are actually the core of the planet later on, then you can get a status of a planet like in 100. How many years?
100 billion years.
100 billion years.
Oh, okay, let's say 5 billion years. You kind of venture out into the asteroid belt, and you start collecting all of those small pebbles and whatnot to begin with. That's going to take some 20 to 50 million years or something like that, at least.
But you said that
then,
you don't...
and then you collect more and more mass and collect bigger and bigger chunks of rock. And in about 5 billion years, you have probably collected enough mass to have cleared your path, got enough mass to actually make a spheroid out of you, and you're within the Neptune orbit, then yes, you can become a planet. So planet Paranoid Dracula.
And you said that it doesn't decompose. So how does it look like in thousands of years? Like you are still in your old shape of human form?
Because you freeze to like minus 270 something degrees. Unless you're in the sun, then you kind of get a little bit warmer. But yeah, you would probably not decompose in the sense that you would down here on Earth, because bacteria basically go inert in that cold weather, especially the bacteria that usually lives on us, because they are used to a little bit warmer weather, kind of like us.
I can imagine the surprise of a very much of a future race when they dig down to the core of a planet and they see a being.
Pull out Paranoid Droid, go, that's why it's called the Paranoid Droid planet. Or Paranoid Droidua.
Right. Okay. Well, this is one concept, how you become immortal, I guess.
Well, mind you, though, that when you get that much mass around you, to the point where you have, you actually, by the mass itself, create a spheroid. You in the center will be liquefied, and you become very, very hot. So, yeah.
You said you will freeze.
Yeah,
first.
in outer space, but if you have enough pressure your core will actually warm up.
Oh, well, yeah, what a possible great future.
Yeah, I could live with that. Become a planet.
Become a core of a planet. Wow.
Oh, yes, Zidudu has a good point. You would become plutonic. No, actually, no, because that is only outside of the Neptune's orbit. The asteroid belt is within the Neptune orbit. So I would be a dwarf planet. Or paranoid droid would be a dwarf planet.
Okay. Well, agree between each other who will be the first
Planet.
And meanwhile, we play Malthus's request because he said, like a few minutes ago, well, probably a half hour, was it? Yeah, it was a half hour,
That's a few minutes ago.
Everything's relative.
Yeah, it's like
anyway.
her getting ready to go out. Yeah, I'll be done in a few minutes.
That's not that. But yes, it happens. But that's not the situation right now. Anyway, he said, "Oh, guys, that brings back some memories. So I would love to hear that Danko with Mein Apparat." Yes, why not?
Bring their Danko.
64.
Well, lovely, short and sweet track.
Indeed.
Malthus, yes. And a classic. It's been a while since it was played on a show, so very, very nice. Anyway.
Yeah, Lala was trying to convince me that we are all planetoids because we are all circling the sun on planet Earth. Well, you don't have your own orbit. And then he said, well, tell that to my growing beer belly. Well, you might have something orbiting your beer belly. Then, yeah, I don't know what that would be a satellite. The thing that orbits you, I mean.
Oh, okay. Not a ring or anything.
Well, maybe if you have a hula hoop or whatever orbiting, it just kind of rotates around you or whatever, then yeah. Yeah, like Patrick Carter there with Peter Griffin from Family Guy with his TV and an apple and a book and a glass of water orbiting.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That works. With the orbits and everything.
Right.
Well, now we know that there are like secret desires of some people becoming a planet in like a few hundred years, or maybe thousands, or maybe millions. Who knows?
Who knows?
FS. My last astronaut girlfriend ended our relationship. She is my SpaceX now.
Yeah, and Malthus cheered 100 bits for that. Well, he did actually cheer that earlier.
Thank you so much, Malthus. And yes, you still have one request, and we noticed that, so it's gonna be played.
Yeah, Bat Ricardo says, we're all stardust. Yes, we are. The iron in your bloodstream was created right before a star died and imploded into a supernova and spewed out a lot of the heavy elements like gold, platinum, that sort of thing, uranium. But as soon as the star started generating iron, because then the energy differential there, because iron doesn't or eats more energy than it creates, then it starts to implode. That's mere minutes away from implosion.
Oh well. Yep.
Yep, it's very, very fun.
Planet-size ego is one thing, said DJ Demon. Wanting to actually become a planet is weirder on a planetary scale.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't say that it kind of is exactly a planet-size ego. Like, yeah, instead of, the ancient Egyptians building pyramids and shit. Yeah, fuck that. You amateurs. Look at me. Shoot me up in space into the asteroid belt. I'll become a planet.
You're impressive, right?
Yeah, I'm very impressive. For those that missed last week's show, I was going to say I'm very impressed. Instead, I said I'm very impressive. That's where that comes from.
Yep. It will stay with you for a while.
Yeah, probably. Yes.
I enjoyed it. Yep, and I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but the first profession that I would have choose actually.
Oh, I thought there was a period. A whore. That's basically the first profession.
Oh God. So let's see if you paid attention to me. What was the first profession that I ever wanted for myself?
You wanted to become a star.
No, that's close to planets, but no.
That's even bigger than planet. No, wasn't it that you wanted to become a play on stage and whatnot? A singer?
That was later.
Uh-huh. Okay. I don't know. I can't
look
remember
at that.
now.
You don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember now.
I wanted to be a spaceman. That was my first desire when I was 3 years old.
Yeah, then you would have first needed to transition into a man.
Well, it's not called Space Woman, is it?
No, it's called an astronaut.
Well, okay. So yes, I wanted to be an astronaut, and I was playing with astronaut Lego that I got from my dad mostly. And
Space Lego!
Yes, Space Lego. I really loved it. Like, my favorite was the first spaceship that I got. And before that, like when I wasn't really playing with Lego yet, I think I was even smaller, I took some... There were guests in our house. I took some diapers. I put it on my head. They were clean, luckily.
Luckily.
I put it on my head, and I went into the room to the guests, and I claimed that the astronaut is dying. I'm running out of oxygen. And yes, they were reacting like that as well.
Oh, and Lala put on his monocle and said, "Oh, did Ziona want to become a cosmonaut instead? Because back then you were still part of Russia."
Oh,
Or,
excuse me.
well,
Yes,
not
yes.
part of, but still.
Yeah, exactly. Like those were the last years, basically,
Yeah.
of the Russian friendship.
Friendship.
Liberation, as they called it before.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, it's so much better now with Orban.
They need someone to follow. That's what I can tell you. Politics. Anyway. Okay, so how about a song?
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I already put my foot in my mouth, so.
Thank you. Oh, Hungarian politics. I have some choice opinions on that one too, said Lala. I think Lala, we both do. So I wonder why we are not living there.
There
Anyway.
must be a reason. Hmm.
It's a very nice place. Otherwise, it has a lot of potential. So it's really, really sad.
It's a
to see
renovation
that.
object.
No, seriously. Like,
Yeah, it has a lot of potential, means it's a renovation object.
yeah. It would need to be renovated at some points anyway. So yes, it would. There would be more important tasks than building stadiums, in my opinion. But that's just
Yeah, but
my opinion.
That's the old Roman thing. You just build stadiums and keep the people happy once a week.
Bread and circus or whatever.
Yeah.
So yes, that's apparently what they think they need. Anyway, FS wants to hear Amok and Commando Halloween Gangbang.
I was looking for my floppies because Dex Euromat on YouTube said, show us some floppies if you can, so kids will know these are not the icons or the save
3D
icons.
version of the save icons, yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I have a couple of boxes with floppies from back from the day. So most of them are just very intelligently labeled code. So yeah, I guess there's some code on there. Some just say music. So yeah. Either way, I have a couple of boxes of those from with some sources for my music editor and things like that. But I don't remember where I put them. They must be out there in one of the moving boxes or whatever.
Shouldn't been such a long time ago since you got them back, I think.
No.
So, but anyway, now they will get even more lost because we might have to pack up a few things.
Yeah, but one of the reasons most of those things are still packed in boxes is because there's simply no good places to unpack them in this house. So in the new one, there's going to be places we can unpack pretty much everything.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Everything will have a place, which it makes me so happy.
Yes. It's going to be nice.
Yeah. What was? Why? Are you pregnant and you need a kid's room?
Yeah, she's like a kid with her coats and shoes and whatnot. It's like Christmas every week. Like, woo, new box of coats or whatever.
I don't order coats every week.
I know, but something.
I
Victoria's
sent away.
Secret.
I sent
or
away.
Selfie or whatever.
Yeah, but I sent away quite a few now, and I have less. Aren't you proud of me?
Oh yeah.
And yes, it's well, it's a matter of personal preference. But yes, it's nice to have those. I'm particularly a sucker of leather jackets because I just love them. I can't help that. It's just such a beautiful style and things and yeah.
And things and
yeah, so I can't really say no sometimes to a bargain. But I pay attention that it needs to be a bargain because I have too many things and I just really probably would not be able to afford like full price for everything that I have, so no. But yeah. But yeah. At least it's environment friendlier.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, still not perfect, but yeah, well, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, what makes me very happy is that you can have cupboards and, you know, closed storage spaces, which might be weird, but in this house, for example, we have mostly shelves, and this drives me crazy. Like, literally, where the heck you are packing up your things? Like, you want to hide them or put them into something. Literally, we don't have anything in this house where they are hidden, except like a curtain and a little storage space in the wall.
Yeah, well, technically I could have gotten wardrobes and whatnot and put them in various rooms, but I just never bothered because I don't really have that many clothing items that I need to store them somewhere special.
Okay,
just
I
throw
understand.
them on a shelf, it's good.
Yeah, but I still notice this tendency because this is not only you, but I think it's also like a Swedish thing. Like, let's make it practical. Let's just have a shelf instead, and we just pull down whatever we need from the shelf. But there are some things that you just want to put like inside something, maybe. Every now and then,
Yeah,
you know?
every now and then I want to put something inside something, yes.
Literally, the only storage space is the kitchen cupboard that is closed. And I'm not seriously, this is not a joke.
Yeah, that is literally, and the cupboards I put in on the shelf in the living room.
And those
And
were
there's
actually
five of them.
those were created after I moved here because he figured out that there might be some things that are probably better off not being on the shelves.
Yeah, I only had drawers at the bottom before. Then I got drawers on the level above and cupboards above that.
Yeah, it's almost like a kitchen floor in Sweden sometimes, which also drives me crazy. How is it with the new one? I need to check it again. Like, is it also illogical? Because then
It's not illogical. It's just wood floors, yes.
Yes. The Slaygon has everything, and the kitchen sink is in his kitchen cabinet. Cabinet, yes. Yes, actually, yes. All that he needed is the kitchen cabinet and the cupboard, and this is where he hides everything.
Yep, because I don't have that much shit.
And then all the other places are just shelves, so you see everything, literally everything.
Yes,
all the
I have nothing
boxes,
to
all
hide.
the... Nah, it drives me nuts. Crazy.
I'm actually just checking the pictures here for the kitchen.
And meanwhile, you do that. Although I don't think that this is entirely a Swedish tendency, because IKEA has a very nice series of Pax wardrobes. So they know the concept of wardrobe. Slaygon doesn't know the concept of wardrobe that much.
Here. Floor.
Oh, how great. It's also wooden floor.
That's
So
perfect.
surprising. I don't know. How is that practical ever? Like, when was this practical ever? Like, you create food there. The food falls down on the wooden floor. How is that better than any sort
You
of
clean
stone?
it up.
Of course you clean it up.
Yeah.
But still.
Or do you just ignore it because you have your slippers on? We don't have slippers on inside in Sweden.
Yes, they don't have slippers either. So, I'm sorry. Of course you can't have stones on the floor, because if you don't have slippers, your feet will be freezing. That's logical. So instead, let's just take the food, and if it falls on the floor meanwhile you cook or do something in the kitchen, that's so much better when you don't notice some liquids and it will just soaked in the wood floor that is in the kitchen. Tell me that this is practical. Tell me in my face.
Well, it's not practical if you leave it there, obviously.
Yeah, and it might be that it's like water or something and you don't notice that it's
How do you not notice? The only way you do not notice is if you walk around in slippers. If you have socks on or barefoot, you will notice if you step in something.
So this is why you guys don't wear slippers, I get it.
Well, I guess we get cleaner floors that way. I don't know.
Fantastic. And then you put your socks in the washing machine.
Yes.
And I don't want to know what's stuck in there after this.
Well,
Hi, Go Hex, by the way.
Oh yeah, and he says, sorry for the absence, we'll catch up with the show in the archive land. I'm waging a battle with a huge closet, which I have to somehow assemble. And Lala says, you need to deliver it to Slaygon pronto, apparently. They have a closet space issue.
Well, it's gonna be alright. It's just Slaygon who doesn't need a closet space, because all that he needs is shelf space apparently. So anyway, let's play a song. Shargol wants to hear Darkman and North Star title. What a nice ditty,
Oops.
isn't it?
It is indeed.
Yeah, I see that you got all the chords right. So, very nice. And what are you typing so wildly?
Just regular typing. It's just a pretty loud keyboard. I need to get the dampener rings on here.
I love the
these
fact-
rubber rings. You pull these keys off and put a rubber ring in there to dampen the sound.
Yeah, I love the fact that you wanted to get a keyboard that is more silent.
Yeah, well, primary kind of focus was to get a functioning keyboard, because the old one, you had to, some of the keys were kind of half stuck. They didn't quite press down, so you get very annoying. But yeah, I was hoping this was going to be more silent. But
Hoping.
Yeah, hoping.
That worked out very well, right?
It's more silent than the other TKL I have, which is a Cooler Master. Yeah, Cooler Master. It has these other type of keys in the Cooler Master, but it's more loud than this one.
Mm.
Both of them are nice keyboards, though. But yeah.
Oh well. At least it has nice lights. That
It does.
doesn't really matter for me with the keyboard, but
looks fun.
it looks fun. Yes.
It doesn't matter when you type really quick, because then the whole fucking keyboard lights up anyway, because it doesn't have time to fade out.
As useful function as the lights on the what is that, the Bluetooth toothbrush. You can set the color of the light. I would
That's
actually prefer
important.
I would prefer to set it non-lighty, because when you are like, you almost fall asleep and it's in your face, you are brushing teeth and the big light is in your face, and it
I
just
have tape.
yeah, it wakes you up, and I don't know.
Just take electrical tape and wrap it around there.
Yeah, probably. Well, if I won't manage to switch it off from the application, then that's what we're gonna do, because, well, it's seriously, I don't understand this concept at all. Like, they don't think of people. It was already claimed, actually, that screen time is making your, especially before going to sleep, is making your sleep worse, and you fall asleep like on a more, it's more difficult to fall asleep basically if you have like screen time shortly before you go to sleep. Although it depends, of course, but I think they refer mostly to mobile devices here, because, well, nowadays I fall asleep to television, because that can happen as well. It's monotonous, it's going on, so it's not only screen. I guess that can work, but yeah. Yeah, so lights before going to sleep are not that good. That's what they claim, and I think I agree, because
It's
definitely
photons
think that-
hitting your eyeballs, which essentially sends a signal to your brain saying that, yeah, it's morning now.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And that's why I like all the night light functions and the dark mode, because it's just so incomparably better when you are in dark mode with dark background, better for the eyes, for my eyes at least, that I just don't really understand why I would want to use any but white background, especially in the middle of the night when I'm browsing on the phone. When, let's say, I can't fall asleep, and I specifically hate it when there are like pages with white background then. So, yeah. But anyway, it might be only my problem, but I think if there are several other people who feel this way, great, because there can be something done about it at least.
Dex Euromat on YouTube says, get a Lego keyboard. You can re-brick it anytime you like to change. Yeah, but
great.
they keep bricking on me.
Oh well. Anyway, probably we should carry on with this list because we still have some nice songs to play here.
Yes, and not a lot of time apparently.
No,
Where the
not
heck did this evening go?
Well, it just flew away. That's it. So the next one is a classic, and it's a must-have during a Halloween show. And Bat Ricardo requested it, and this would be...
Battery Ricardo.
Battery Ricardo? And this would be Trauma and I'm a Pumpkin Man, Cauldron 2.
I'm Pumpkin Man. 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 I'll be jumping you. Just like pumpkins do.
Yeah, the ideal candidate. You can do the next version, I think. Can be.
Oh, we need X-Form Z back for that.
Or
do
fast loaders. Yeah.
No, X-Form Z and do like a black metal version of it.
Okay. Yeah, that can work. Definitely. So yeah, this should have been played. Not. I mean, it should be played in a show that is Halloween themed. Yes, I know. I still did not say it right. And
No. I was laughing at Maltes's comment here. He says, "I think I'm gonna watch Bait Sharks at the Supermarket tonight after the show. Do you have any useful plans with your life?" At least no Pluto in that movie.
Oh, Martus, what about this Pluto? You could go to Pluto in that game. You said that the song that is the next request that we are going to play. So what is it with you and Pluto? You don't want to go to Pluto?
He's sad because it's not a planet anymore.
No.
Yeah, send a letter to Neil deGrasse Tyson. He gets a lot of them, and he sometimes responds to them. He's got letters from kids that are just distraught that it's no longer a planet, and sends him a mail and say, "Oh, why did you not let it be a planet anymore?"
Super cute.
Yeah, poor Pluto.
Poor little thing.
Oh, I thought we put a period in that one. Sorry.
A period where?
Yeah, they're like on the Pluto discussion. Pluto is not a planet; it's a dog.
Yeah, we did, but he added, talking about Pluto, I request the original Sid of Benji Space Rescue.
Oh, and now Z-Duder is trying to do a bit of will bait me into it because he says, "Leave the bloody planet alone."
Yep, so anyway, Bartos added that it's a shite Sid of 83, but you could go to Pluto in that game. That's what you are supposed to play right now.
So let's play it. This is a cover of a commercial song, actually, I think.
Oh.
I think Lola has some work to do updating the steel information for this. Yeah.
Cute though.
Yeah, it's cute. Wasn't this the title music of a Benji TV series? Maybe. Paranoid Dracula says, "Steel doesn't say it." No, exactly. That's why I said Lala has some work to do updating that.
Cutie pie.
Anyway, boss fate.
That was cute.
Yeah.
So, thank you for requesting it.
I Feel Love, Benji's theme. Is that the song that this Sid covers? Oh, okay. It doesn't say on that there. Yeah. Anyway, it's cute. I recognize it from somewhere. Oh, yeah. Okay. So that's the original of the Sid. I Feel Love, Benji's theme. Apparently. Interesting.
Is it? I'm wondering if this one is just not showing me the right info because maybe it got replaced. Yes, it did. Ho ho ho.
Did it?
Yeah.
What is it?
The artist name is wrong. It's not Shanlon, it's Rune Bertils. But
Rune Bertils.
Rune Bertils. Oh, it's Rune. Okay. So
Rune Bertils.
With a very Swedish accent.
Yeah, well, they could be Norwegian. I can never remember for some reason. I don't know.
Look at that. We need
Norwegian
to check
or Swedish,
that out.
or maybe Danish.
Oh, DJ Demon sending a request in the last 10 minutes. I just set up the lineup for the rest of the minutes, but well, let's see what we can do about that. So, actually...
Oh, wow. Lala says that Benji title theme was even nominated for an Academy Award in 1974.
Well,
Wow. Okay.
74, that was very early on anyway.
Yeah, but it's a very nominated for an Academy Award. That's kind of a big deal. It's not just a random good song from back in the day. So yeah, it's kind of a big thing. No wonder I kind of recognized it at least. Motto says, "Oh my God, Lala, you know a lot of things." Yes, he does. He's the encyclopedia of the Sid scene, and he says, "I can Google fast." Fast Google fingers.
But still, he can be an encyclopedia, so
Oh,
that's
yeah.
correct. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's the Encyclopedia Americana. Ta-da! There we go.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Now that explains it.
Yeah, now you just need to add Plutoid to your encyclopedia there, and that concludes the whole thing. Now you know everything.
Absolutely. Bootega.
Bootega.
Oh, she watched the Jeroen live at Bit 19 yesterday. It was weird. It seems like 200 years ago. Well, yeah. Imagine how it feels that it's like it was 5 years ago since we have met with Slaygon for the first time in real life.
Yeah, but that Bit 19 is a weird one though, because that feels like it was very long ago at the same time as it feels very recent. It's like
true.
That kind of weird.
True, it's weird. It's really weird. But then again, anyway, this one goes out to DJ Demon because last minute request. Very uplifting, like at the end of the show.
Very, very uplifting and
Not
fun.
really dark, though.
No, not very dark and gloomy. But maybe that is a good note to kind of aim for towards the end of the show anyway.
Yeah, I mean, there will be still like 2 very nice tracks are at least lined up. That much I can tell you. And then, well, since we started later because of me, and it was my fault.
Only a few minutes. It's not as bad as it was last week. Last week it was like 8 or 9 minutes late or something.
That wasn't because of me.
I didn't say that. I said it's not as bad as it was last week.
Yeah,
I didn't say it's your fault.
Yeah, but
It
this
was
week
the
is
fault-
my fault.
Yeah,
So
but it's not as bad as it was last week. So it doesn't matter.
awesome to
finished.
hear. Anyway, there's a short request here for Tenno Recluse, which would be Iceman and Trick Bag, Tricky Edit. And after that, we will have the wind down and goodbyes and all of that.
Goodbyes is fun in Swedish.
Iceman and Trick Bag.
Trick bag.
Trick Bag.
Or trick bag.
Trick Bag.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. Oh, wait, what?
Oh yeah, that little word figure thingy sticker This is, what is this in English?
It's the fuck is it called? The clip.
The little clip, yes, the
Yeah.
icon. And Bet Ricardo said, looks like you are trying to start a radio show on time. Need a hand with that? Says the little clip. Or even better, my favorite, looks like you are trying to start a radio show on time. Do you want me to install updates now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But actually, I think last week it was it either Twitch or YouTube that just refused to start streaming for some reason.
Yes, that was the
Yeah.
reason why we
Yeah.
started later. I think it was 10 minutes late. Yes.
Yeah, plus there was a Windows update right up until like a second before the show started.
Of course, because that's how
Yeah, I
you
had
do that.
I had that once the stream actually started. It was still updating, so for a few seconds.
Yeah, fantastic. Best timing ever.
Great.
Updating or backupping. Bottega said, good night, you sexy Sid worshippers.
Ja, det har ett sidstepper.
Hahaha, paranoid droid. Good night, Bottega, you sexy nurse. That makes sense. Definitely.
Sidofans. Oh, that's a good one.
Sid offense.
Yeah.
So you say next year there might be a many people show.
Yes, we've been thinking about that for a while, but
So-
there hasn't been really any good opportunities, and then COVID hit, and all went down the drain. So yeah, the idea was that we would do a many people show first, and see how that went. Basically, getting a bunch of people here to the house, and just have some people up in the living room, and some people down here in the studio. And with a new house, that's going to be even better. So
Yeah, so the people won't come in here. They will go there to the new one.
yes,
which has
exactly.
way more space and
Yeah,
yes.
and it's not Malthus is not an official like everyone is invited gathering as they used to be. It's a many people show where essentially a select few will be gathering and doing a radio show. So it would be like a small party with live radio, essentially.
Sounds awesome. Let's see about that.
Going back to the roots, and Zidudu says, like the ADSR, no. Nobody will be playing music. We will play remixes, but nobody will be playing live anything.
Bottega added, I mean, meet me at Broilen for fika all the days before and after meeting. Blåbärkrans for the win. Yep. And I think, Bottega, you missed a very important information. Today we did the spookiest thing ever. We got the house together. Eek. So,
Yep. Signed, sealed, and not yet dealt.
yes, but will be until March. Let's see what happens. So,
Not until it will be in March.
well, okay, or before.
Until March, we will live in this house.
Yeah, exactly. But it was like the last deadline is the 1st March. So, yeah, anyway,
Now that is the official moving in date,
yeah.
where we
So.
sign off on all of the rest of the papers and whatnot.
Yeah. No live music, not even a famed ziona mix session.
Not impossible.
It's not impossible. There will be one at the start of December when there will be the transmission party happening, so that much we know. But that will be still from here. So
Mhm. And Malta says, far away from Kvillabiljard, that would be a shame. Yeah,
a bit
it's
further
away from
yes.
Kvillabiljard than currently, yes.
Not very far away though, but it will be a bit further away.
Yes.
If our new house won't have a C64 logo shaped window, I'll be very disappointed. Also, congrats, Edit Lala.
Well, yeah, it's a renovation object. Obviously, there needs to be a Commodore 64 logo window somewhere. Duh.
Let's see about that. How creative we'll get meanwhile doing these things. Well, we will see.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Max Levine says, good night all, lovely as usual, and thank you again for the condolences. And yes, so sorry to hear about your uncle and Malthus, your father there. Very sorry to hear about both of those. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that for now. And we'll have a talk mano a mano, as it were.
Yeah. Hard to add anything to those, unfortunately. So
it is.
But there is a beautiful song to all of you as a wind down, thanks to Ziduder and his suggestion, because he had a great idea that maybe for a wind down we could play Rainowend's Nemesis the Warlock, the Live at Church one. And yes, this is what we are going to play for a wind down, and yeah, I think that would be definitely a proper closing, also for those people and for everyone. And next week we might have a special show as well. I hope that we will have enough time to prepare for it, because it seems like we will have one or two things to do. But since today was the anniversary of X 2016, and next week there will be an anniversary of X 2018. There will be some flashbacks included in the show, in the next week's show of X 2018. So prepare for that, because we did interviews there, and well, actually, the original plan was to create a whole podcast out of that, but since that involves a lot of work and sitting down, and that never happened, we will definitely create a flashback show out of these materials, and let's hope we will slightly feel that we are almost there, and next year we can be actually physically there, so let's hope for that. And yeah, that's going to be next week's topic, and after next week we will probably have 1 week pause because logistics. And after that, we come back with also a special show, if I recall. So prepare yourselves for that. And I guess
there might be a surprise scene-related broadcast over the weekend of the 5th to 7th of November as well.
Yes. Yes, that would be Slaygon only.
Going to Stockholm to meet up with the Censor guys.
Yes, exactly. So that will be absolutely a guy party. And yes, I know, sausage party. Sausage fest, as you say.
Sausage.
So anyway,
thank you very much for joining us tonight anyway. Yes. And hope to see you again soon.
And don't forget to tune into Post Radio on other days of the week, because you can meet Bet Ricardo tonight. Bet Ricardo.
Batkus.
Cactus. And Kizzy Coney and Ziduder. And of course, Boz as well. And let me know if I have skipped someone. Hope not. But anyway.
No, I keep forgetting.
Yeah. Anyway, so thank you everyone once again. Have a very good night. Have a nice Halloween weekend and a peaceful one. And this would be Ziduder's closing request, which is Nemesis the Warlock from Riowa. Good night. Sweet
once again,
dreams.
thank you.
Thank you very much. Good night.
another listener. Slay a while. Slay forever.